Hey, what is going on, everybody? Hopefully, you're having a good one. It is Friday, so you know what that means. It's another episode of Millennial with Billy and Mel. What is going on, guys? Hopefully, you're having a good Friday. It is a gorgeous day
It
outside, by the way.
is.
It is November. It is crazy. It is warm outside. I was wearing this hoodie and I was sweating outside. It's weird.
It
Um,
is.
but but anyways, guys, we have a really fun episode for you guys today. And we'll be getting to that here in a second. But if you are jumping on the live, please comment who you are, where you're coming in from. We'd love to give you a shout out. And if you're jumping on the replay, which a lot of you will, let us know that you dropped in. Tell us what you thought about the show. But anyways, before we get into today's topic, Mel, what's going on? How are you doing?
I'm good. I had a fantastic time in Nashville. I didn't want to come home. I was gonna just stay and never come back. It was awesome, and I love it. And I had a great time with my girls. It was nice to get away. And yeah, just back to the grind and really focused on holiday cards. Thank you, Billy and Megan, for ordering your
They
Christmas
look
cards.
they look
Made to
awesome.
keep Christmas cards, and everybody else that's listening, I have on my Facebook page a catalog that I made. I have over 100 designs that I've designed. Actually, found about 50 more from last year, so I'm going to add them up. So I'm going to be hustling hard this November with holiday cards, and would love to get your business for professional corporate cards for your clients and for your families.
Yeah,
Ding.
they're great, guys.
Plug.
We've been getting them for a couple of years now, and we
Yeah.
love them, right?
And
And
Megan
so
said, "We are famous. We were in the catalog." Our face.
I know she was super excited last night. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, guys, make sure you check that out. Go check out the website and whatnot.
Thank
But
you.
let's talk about it, right? What is today's show about? It's going to be a fun topic. We have been talking a lot of serious topics in the last couple of weeks, and
Hmm.
so we wanted to bring some fun back to it, right? And so today, what we're going to be talking about, and this is going to be interesting because there's a lot of real estate friends that we have and stuff like that. So I'd love to get their feedback here, and maybe some design people, right?
Hmm.
This is a really interesting topic because millennials love HGTV. They love all the
Yes.
DIY or a
Flips.
DIY or
Yep.
whatever it's called. And so this show today is about millennial home trends that will be cringing at in 20 years. Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to break them down for you. We're going to give you our thoughts. We'd love to see what your thoughts are too. But before we get into it, what do you think about this topic, Mel?
I love it because I also am curious, is it really millennial um, home trends, or is it just home trends and
Yeah, and we're getting
we're
blamed.
just obsessed with them more than most? But it's curious. I'm curious because I a lot of them I have, and we have pictures to show of my home. So this is going to be almost a home tour for you all to look at some of my things in my home.
There you go. It's an episode of Cribs, right? MTV Cribs, basically
I'm
digital
I'm
version.
I'm
So
calling myself out with the millennial home trends that might be a
a cringy topic.
a cringing topic.
So I'm gonna pull up here. So the basically I found this article, and so it's through BuzzFeed, right? Everybody knows who BuzzFeed is. They have all those weird questionnaires that they do and stuff like that. But I'm gonna pop it up here, and so looking at the first one, number one, I don't think these are in any particular order. By the way, I think they're just listed. There's 20 of them. I don't know if we'll get to all 20 of them, but we definitely got to hit the number one. So number one is 50 shades of gray throughout your space. So much gray. Everything has gray walls, gray floor, gray couches. Everything's gray. And if it's not gray, it's white. And it's just tons of gray and white interiors. Please bring back some color.
Oh, this is me. Shall I show why?
Yes.
Gray couch,
Oh
gray
my
rug.
God.
Now the walls are not
Well,
gray, and I do have a little blue.
you have a little blue.
The only reason I have blue is because those pillows came with the couch, And
Oh, we're gonna get to those pillows too, by the way.
oops, oops. But this one is up in my bedroom, which is a gray rug, a hint of my gray washed dresser on the right, and a gray bench.
Yeah,
I have gray.
it is. I looked around the house today too,
I'm a
and there's a
culprit.
lot of gray and a lot of white,
Yeah.
and it's because I guess it's just neutral, right? I guess that's
Yes.
the idea behind it is that anything you put in that room is gonna, if it is a pop of color, it's gonna look good. So I would say the first one is definitely gonna be something that's gonna be like, oh, why did we do that, right? Why did we have
Right.
so much gray, right?
Oh yeah,
Um,
and it's funny because I think about um changing it up in most of my house. My office is all white. I do have rose gold, and but everything here in the office is white and like this rose gold. But to be very honest, my spare room, which I never go in other than to getting my workout shoes or my bathing suits, is full of color. I call it the Cartagena room because when I went there, it was an inspiration for this. So that's the only room in my house that has color.
well, you can see him up here on the picture, right? For those that can see that, that's a picture of just a random stock photo. Well, there's a pop of color, and there's some
Stop!
oranges.
It also says rose gold.
Yeah, that's. Oh, it does. Rose gold. Look at that. That's
Oh, that's me.
that's impressive. So, the next one is open concept layouts. Huh.
Yeah, so what's funny thinking of but millennials, I mean, that is a trend that is happening with homes, and it's been going on for like 10 years. Um, you know, or so, because my house that my ex-husband and I bought was that way and we loved it. And I have seen it since, because living rooms slash dining rooms, that old cookie cutter 4 rooms, two in the front, two in the back, are just not um really the way anymore, and everything's open. But I think the kitchen is where everyone hangs out, right?
Yeah. A
So
hundred
then
percent.
having it extend into a little bit of it, and there's really no dining rooms anymore. People don't use dining rooms that much anymore, most people, but it's kind of like a table like that, and then it leads into the living room where it's all
Well,
one big one big party space.
let's be honest. I think most millennials are more social than others, and
Mhm.
so like we're big on parties and stuff like that. And like when you have a party, to be like separated rooms,
Right,
right? It just doesn't work. And so I don't think this concept will go away. I think a lot of or will be cringy. Like no, I don't foresee people being like, oh, I want to have every room separate again.
right,
Like
right,
you know, like that would be really. I think that would be more of a reach. But
right. I
uh,
agree.
and no, I love the open concept. Right.
Yep,
It just makes the house seem more inviting. So.
I do.
Uh,
I do too.
so I don't know if anybody else has some comments below about what you think so far that you've seen. Is it cringy? Is it not? I don't think this is going to be a cringy thing that we're going to look at 20 years from now. I might be wrong, but we'll see. All right. So moving right along, number 3, minimalism. So house is basically empty. I am far from a house empty. I have so much clutter. It's unreal.
Oh, that's
So,
funny.
I guess I'm not in this book, in this boat. What about you?
So I like to have less is more. I try not to have a lot of clutter. I actually was thinking about it as I scrolled through these and I was taking a quick pic, of some of the examples. But the book that I'm reading, things that is it things that matter, or yeah, it's about minimalism. Like that's the you've heard of it, right? I don't know if
Yeah,
you read it.
yeah,
So what's actually really funny is over the last month that I've been reading it, and even just today, I told you, I've been getting rid of stuff on Facebook Marketplace like hotcakes. And I'm just like going through stuff and I'm like, nope, don't need it. Nope, don't need it. And I literally went in my office and every day I'm just taking stuff and I'm putting it into an area, and I'm selling it or I'm getting rid of it.
yeah.
So I
It,
get the minimalism, but I think I have more than that.
yeah,
But um,
that's also a highly staged photo. Let's
but
be
yeah, yeah,
honest.
yeah.
Like that's like I'm trying to sell your house cluttered, clutter free. I'm with you. Like I think in theory it's a great idea to be, to get rid of a bunch of stuff, but like I always feel like it's either hit or miss. Like you're either all about it or you're like I don't even want to think about it. Right? There's no like
Right.
oh I kind of want to do this. It's just like it's always just a pain in the butt, especially clothes, right? Let's be honest.
Yes.
Like it's hard to get rid of clothes
Yeah.
to be to be honest. So, um oh god. Uh a lot of geometric backgrounds. I guess
Yes.
this is where this is going. A lot of probably I mean, we saw it on your rug. You had some
Yep.
patterns there. So,
Although a rug is not permanent on the wall.
yes, yes. So what's your feelings on this?
I,
Cringy, non-cringy?
yeah, I'm not feeling it for home decor, like on the wallpaper as much. I know it says chevron patterns. I think it's a little much. I mean, I like the idea of a pattern and or like something that's a backsplashy kind of thing. I don't know. I could see this being like what what we look at in the 70s, like when we go into a home and we know right away it was from the 70s, like in the bathroom where it's like, baby pink, that seafoam green,
Yeah.
that kind of style. Like that's what that kind of reminds me of. And maybe it's just a combination of the dark. I do see a lot of people that are doing like the black cabinets and all that in the kitchen, and I think that's cool. But to me, it's like, oh my god, it's like why I don't have tattoos because they're very permanent, and you have to look at it every day. I'm just not sure I could look at that every day.
Yeah, yeah. I'm with you on that. I have been seeing that trend really like especially in the last couple of years or so, like dark colors in the kitchen, cabinet wise, whether it be I think in this picture it's more of like a dark navy,
Hmm.
with looks like a lot of gold accent. I
Right.
am not a gold accent type of guy.
That's another thing that's like a millennial thing too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And but I'm with you. I think we're gonna look back on this and we're gonna be like, oh, it might not be cringy, but it might be like, oh, I definitely know this is what time period this is from,
Right.
and is it gonna be good to resell my home? I
Yeah, and
don't.
I kind of think I have a couple friends that I think have something similar to this style, and they are very into interior decorating and fashion and trends, and um, I almost think that there's an opportunity to like change it. I think those people that might do it might change it in a couple years. You know what I mean? Because they changed it to that. I almost wonder. I could see people, not keeping it forever. You know what I mean?
Hmm. The next one is gonna hit home pretty hard, especially for my wife. And so it's
Oh,
plants everywhere.
oh my
Everywhere,
god.
plants, succulents, as far as the eye can see.
This is
Um,
this is yes, this is true.
yeah, I mean, we have plants in every room except for probably the room I'm currently sitting in. But everywhere else, there's probably a little plant somewhere. I should have took a picture for you guys.
Right, yeah, I've got one. I'm ready.
Okay. Let me pop this down real
Okay.
quick. There you go.
This is in my bedroom. So I've got a plant on the floor here, in the corner. Gray furniture, don't forget. Although I do gray and tan, like I'm just neutrals, so I have like a lot of tan colors. But there is a spider plant, as you see on this other thing, and there's a baby spider plant,
Oh, I
um,
see it.
getting
It's
ready,
coming
getting
up
ready
the
to
bottom.
sprout. So not only do we have plants, we've got baby plants coming, and yeah, so
Yeah,
that one's that. But then also, this is in
there's
the living
more.
room.
Oh my
I
god.
just got this big one here, and then I've got a little one in the living room right through the door here. So yeah, I got those. That I actually got those this year, and I like it. I think I like the greenery inside. I don't think it's. over the top, but it could be worse.
We definitely have way more plants than that,
Okay.
to
But
say the
true. I
least.
don't think it's gonna be any type of a cringe-worthy thing in 20 years to say that we had a lot of
No, I
plants, but
agree.
maybe, I mean, actually, you know what's really funny? I was in Baltimore. It was actually really funny because when Nell and I did the podcast about Baltimore, my next door neighbor, and friend from growing up, Sandra, had hopped on and she commented and said hi. And our other friend, Jenna, we talked about Jenna and Justin, they were twins. Their parents had a house and they loved to go to Hawaii. The parents always went to, I want to say it was Maui or something, but they were very into like islands and tropical and just like, and I remember that their whole house and even her mom's house, which was like her grandmother's that I went to, there was plants. It's like it was like you went in and you're like, we're in a jungle. Like it was that like it was dark and there was just plants like everywhere. It's so funny if Sandra's listening or if she watches it. I wonder if she'll remember ever going in and yeah, no, it was like they were everywhere. You know,
Yeah.
kind of. So maybe that's what they're thinking in 20 years they'll be because there'll just be so many, you know,
Well, I
they'll be
remember
adding more and more and more.
yeah, I remember growing up, especially my grandparents, they had plants in the house, but there was always those fake plants, right? It was always like
Right.
the plastic plants. And
Right.
so
And they get
we
dusty.
yeah, we just upgraded to the real deal is
Right.
basically what happened. But moving on to the next one, let me
It's
pull
also
it up
because
here.
we're having children later, so our plants are our babies.
Yes.
So
My
they say.
dogs and my
Yeah,
plants
so they
are my
say.
children.
Yes.
So I skipped a couple because they didn't really I didn't feel like they um
I don't
were
know.
relevant.
There was one that I think right there.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I agree. The
I don't have the
epoxy
I don't have the
resin
epoxy
coffee
resin, but I do have
live edge
a
tables, is
live
it?
edge side table. Yes, I can throw it up just because I took the picture. I might as well just do it, but it's actually cool. And I have considered doing the epoxy on top of it to make it not as live edge, but it's cool. And Megan said Billy loved assembling the new plant stand last week. There you go.
See,
But
we have so many plants. We have to have a dedicated
and
stand
I
for
have
them.
a fake plant on it. Okay, I have a fake plant on it, and I do just want to say my cute sign that says Friday called. She's on her way and bringing wine. So
I love it. I love it.
very millennial.
Very millennial. Live edge. Yeah, I don't have anything epoxy, but the live edge is a massive thing right now.
Yeah,
Um, they're making coffee tables like that. They
yeah.
make coast everything. They make everything. I think it's cool. It's super expensive. I probably
Mhm.
don't. I don't think we have any live edge stuff in our house, but I like this trend. I don't
Yeah,
think it's going to be cringy. I think it's still going to be cool 20 years down the road. Um, let's pull up the next one.
yeah.
Uh,
You had one up.
yeah, let me get to it. All right. So there we go. The
Oh,
gemstones and
oh,
crystals. Lord of mercy.
Lord have mercy. Heavens
Oh my god.
above, the universe is upon us.
Yes.
Um, I'm not a crystal and gemstone salt lamp Himalayan salt lamp geodes
Is
random.
that
I'm
what
just
that
a
is? Is it Himalaya salt? That's they like put candles and stuff in it. They like hollow it out,
yeah.
and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, but it was just I was just reading and it says random I don't know what that word is. And the statues. Not my thing, but I do have a few girlfriends that are into this and it is so big, by the way. There is a store that opened in Hummelstown 2 years ago.
No way.
Lotus Crystal Shop, and they had done so well online, like
Did they? Did they?
in insane that they were able to open keep their like online store and open a retail shop like after the fact to have a brick and mortar.
That's crazy to think about,
Yeah.
but it's probably the only game in town for for the
I
crystals, right?
well, yeah, I mean there were people online. I followed them because I was doing work in Hummelstown and there were people that were all over the country buying from their live they did live showings, but a lot of the stuff is either rare or like they just they're so beautiful, you know what I mean? They like people that do really are like are really interested in them. like I have to sneeze. It's live. Sorry. It's like, if you know what, we sneeze. I'm sorry.
No
But
editing that out.
no, sorry. Uh, actually, I think that's the first sneeze I've ever had on a
I mean, like,
podcast,
we're almost 100 shows in. Yeah, that's pretty
and
impressive.
neither of us have sneezed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, anyway, they did these live ones and they sold so many. And then, I found out that they do these now that they do them at their shop, and people were coming to visit them when they were in the area. They drove like all the way, yeah, to come and see the shop. So, um, I, I don't know if it's something that's going to stay big or if that will be cringy, but we'll see.
Yeah, again, I'm just gonna say I don't believe we have any crystals. We might, none that I have ever seen or paid attention enough to. But I look at this a little cringy. We're gonna like, we're that generation, or I guess that had crystals and stuff in their house. I don't know. Yeah, to each their
Yeah,
own, right?
yeah,
To say the
exactly.
least. All right, number 9, not having carpeted floors. So I think on the flip side, I think it's super cringy to have all carpeted
Carpet,
everywhere.
right. As you saw from the pictures, I mean, this is an old house. It was built in 1908, 1910. Milton Hershey built it for the factory workers, so it's really old. The living room has the original dark wood, like the original. It's beautiful. Everyone comments on it. And then my landlord had done a fake hardwood, but I have carpets in certain areas, like
Yeah,
right under my desk, and then the rest of the room is wood. And then like the bed, I had put that there because yeah, it is. I was like slipping, sliding everywhere on my cozy, comfy socks because
yeah.
millennials wear cozy socks, and I'd be breaking my neck if I was slipping all over. But yeah, I don't. I think we all grew up with carpet, and
I mean,
why?
carpet's just hard to clean, and it's
Why?
just nasty. After a few years, you have to replace it. It's just if it gets wet, you're screwed. It's all these
Yeah.
things. It's just like I don't foresee this going away because I mean that everybody, they covered up hardwood floors, right? And then we're all trying to expose them now, and so I don't foresee this being a cringy millennial thing that's going to go away, and people are going to make fun of us. I mean, there'll be plenty of stuff they can make fun of us about, but this won't be one. Um, all right. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We have the main event, folks.
Uh-oh.
It is the excessive pillows, throw pillows on
I
the
mean,
couch,
you
on the
saw my
bed.
couch. I have another picture of my bed, which I will show you now. There's 3 throw pillows. There's 2 sleeping pillows that are nice, expensive, like very, and then there's 2 behind it that are just for decoration. So yeah, I'm a culprit. Oh my God. I was covering the screen by the picture, and then I literally took the picture off, and Billy's sitting there like shaking his head like that's
Like,
no,
yeah,
no, with his hand over his head. Yeah, I have to. I Okay, so it's just me, obviously.
of course.
Not all the well, I'm gonna say not all the time, but no, most of the 99% of the time. And
There's
I had
plants
to
in this picture too, by the way.
I moved there are plants. I moved the 3 over so that they're stacked in a row like a body, like, right next to me. So when I'm sleeping, there's kind of, like, pillows there. But to be honest, like, I have to, like, fluff them up a little bit. I don't take them off the bed when I sleep, but on the couch, there's a knot. And then Sean actually, we didn't talk about that when we were talking about Sean says, "Hey, Sean, crystals have powers." And actually, there was something that I was reading recently about that. And yes, that is um, something that I did talk about with the owner of the crystal shop. And I think that when we look at things about you know um, I don't want to use the word spirituality, but I know our generation. We were raised. Some of us a certain religion, and or as we got older as adults, whether we still followed that or we were looking for something more of like a divine you know what I'm like the universe. A lot of people say like the universe, and So I think that crystals are something that a lot of people do have that connection with. I know I actually have a um, somewhat of a positive experience that someone gave me a crystal and it was good luck. So yeah.
No, I
So yeah, thanks, Sean, because
think
we forgot about that.
he says Mystic and crystals shops are all over the
Oh,
place. Yep.
well,
And
I just don't. I don't see them. Maybe I just walk right by.
yeah,
I don't
I
know.
don't notice them
Oh my gosh,
enough.
there are
Uh
3 rows of pillows on my bed.
yes. There's probably at least 3 rows on my bed. There's a half a million on the couch. Um,
You
you know,
know,
and none
it's
but all right, so my thing about throw pillows, and then we'll move on, is that 99% of them are the most uncomfortable pillow
yeah.
ever on the planet.
Yeah, those 2 so, actually, the one that's, like, the cream colored that looks soft, and then the one that does say, like, "Stay cozy," um, they're actually really soft, and sometimes, like, I do lay on them, but, um, it's not it's not something I'm gonna sleep on, no. I mean, they're just for looks, to be honest,
Yeah.
and I've seen people that have a lot more, than that, so
Well, moving right along, we have the next one, which is white subway tile. We have white and the
Oh, yeah, you
the white subway tile that's in this picture with those cabinets is exactly what our kitchen looks
Oh, yes.
like.
Yes, I was gonna say you do have that.
Yeah.
I was actually going to put up and they're not real tiles, it was kind of like a stuck one that, like, kind of is like a 12 by 12 that you can put up, and they were gonna be, more of like a tan gray. A tan. But the subway tiles,
I
yes,
can't get
that's
with that guy in that picture. That's pretty
I
funny.
have so much black sheep. He's a
Uh,
millennial, uh,
yeah,
yeah,
I've seen him before. Look, there's another millennial thing in there's a lot of millennial stuff in this picture. There's the
there
live
is.
edge, like
Cutting
like
board, mhm.
cutting boards.
Charcuterie.
There's a KitchenAid mixer. I feel like everybody has one of
Yeah,
those.
I just sold mine.
Oh,
Facebook
look at that.
Marketplace.
There you go. So,
But
um,
gray cabinets.
with great cabinets and what listen, I think kitchen trends, and somebody might correct me if I'm wrong, if somebody's in real estate or whatever, right, that's watching this. Um, I feel like kitchen trends change the quickest. Um,
Mhm.
whether whatever the trend might be, but I don't see this as cringeworthy. I think this is something that's just neutral,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
to
and I
say
mean, I
this.
think the big thing now is, like, white or those, like, off-white cabinets. That was kind of, like, a big thing recently, but, um, when you see the regular wood, like, it's just that oak or the maple or whatever it is, it looks old. Like, it looks like
Yeah.
80s and
Yep.
90s. Like, that was all that was in the the even in, like, the houses that were built in the 90s too. But I was actually um, watching a friend's video of his kitchen, and I was saying that if he changed the color of the cabinets, it would really change the color of the whole room. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, totally agree. All right. So next is we're gonna pop it up. There it is. Boom. This is definitely millennial for the most part. Repurposing old furniture. We have
yeah,
old furniture that we've repurposed.
yeah.
Um, I
Now,
think it's
did you do
fun.
it yourself?
Like we took an
Did
old
you?
piece of furniture. Yeah, we have a couple pieces that we've repurposed. Two or three of them that are in the house. I wish I would. I'll take some pictures and post them later
Yeah,
of stuff that we repurposed. But I mean, this is not only it's fun, especially if you're doing it with somebody else, but it's also going to save you money.
yeah,
And millennials can trying to find any way they can to save some money, right? At this
right.
point, um,
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, I showed you the dresser, in the nightstand picture. Those were oak. Yeah, Sean said white subway tile is practical. I think he also said it's cheap. It's cheapish. Yeah, there you go. But I no problem with upcycle old furniture. Yeah, because it makes something old new, and a lot of the older pieces are actually made better. Like we know that
yep,
with even old houses. Like look at this. I was just talking to somebody who built in one of these brand new neighborhoods, and a year or two later the house is falling apart, like how the new construction is. So it's the same thing with pieces like that. I mean, my mom had a real I guess it was cherry, I'm not sure, but like real wood. Like stuff today is not, I mean, I shouldn't say it's not real wood, but it's plywood or whatever they call this, like, cardboard stuff. So I love it. I had somebody do mine just because I'm not like so crafty, but I paid somebody to do it, and then I put those clear like knobs on it. So I made it, I took those old ones off and I put like new modern. But just like the Singer bass, like I bought that old vintage Singer
Oh, I
sewing
remember
base
that.
and I
Yep.
put the live edge on top. So I'm all about not necessarily myself. I would love to do it. I just don't have the tools, and like I'm not saying, it's not that I don't have the time, because I would make the time, but it's just not something I think I would enjoy the hobby of doing it per se. Um, but I enjoy buying older pieces and maybe putting it together with something else that's new. So it's kind of ish similar, but
Yeah, yeah. No,
I'm in.
there's a show that comes on Saturday mornings actually, and it's called Flea Market Flip, and they do a lot of that.
Ooh,
It's a competition where
I
they
might like that.
put two teams together against each other. They give them like $500. They're like, all right, you have to create a piece that does X Y Z, and then they have to
Oh,
go barter, and so it's a really cool show.
right. That's
Um,
cool.
but I like this. I'm the same way as you. Like I'm a big history person, so like
Yeah,
if
I have
I
a lot
can
of
take
old stuff.
like for instance the kitchen table that we have in our house was like my grandfather's,
Right,
right? And we repainted it and stuff like that. So
right. That's
it
awesome.
it's gonna be something we're gonna be able to carry down. So
Right.
I love it, like you said, especially because
Buying old stuff. Yeah.
that stuff was made so much better than it is
Yeah.
today. Um, I don't know if you want to talk about this one. I don't really. I remember this like probably when I was in high school more so, um, compared to like today. Like I don't know any millennials that are really painting, except for
I
maybe it's for their
it is,
kids.
yes, I was absolutely gonna say I think I've seen a couple people that did it on a wall, for the kids, and they write stuff on it and schedules, but, um, I'm not a huge fan of it because I just feel like it's dusty and you get, like, if you brush up against it, or, like, aesthetically, it's not my jam, but, yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be a cringe. I think that could be a cringe thing in 20
I mean,
years.
especially if you go to sell that house, somebody walks in that room, they're gonna be like, "Oh, like I gotta paint this
Right,
black because it's black, right? It
right.
automatically makes the room look smaller." So I agree, cringy. People, we're gonna look back at that and be like, "Oh, what were we
And
doing?"
or I think that they did it for like, "Oh, that's cool. We could write down the soccer schedule and what's for dinner tonight and the menu." But do they really do it every week? Like,
Nobody does.
I'm wondering. I would love
Yeah.
to know, like, if you have one, do you like, has this been kept up for how many years, or after like 3 months you're like, "Okay, this is too much."
This is cringy.
I mean, you gotta wash it all off and clean it, and then
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a lot of
Mm,
work.
yeah, too much work. So next one, well, we already talked about live edge
Oh, yeah,
wood.
yep,
Uh,
that is it. Yeah.
um, keep calm and carry on posters.
I don't see them much
Yeah,
anymore,
it
but
it
I
was there was a huge fad for a
it
while,
was a
like
couple
these.
years ago.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know anybody that's keeping these up. I don't foresee
They're
this
not
being.
made to keep. Get it. But
Yeah,
I did
look at that.
actually just go through a bunch of drawers, as I was saying, I was going through stuff, and I did have one. I wasn't a huge fan of this whole keep calm and everything. It's just not, I just didn't really like it. But, oh, yeah, chalkboard Pete. So but I did just pull a shirt out of my drawers that were like some of my novelty holiday, and it said keep calm and pinch on, and it was like green and white.
Yeah,
And I was like, "Oh, I should keep this for," and I was like, "No, I'm never gonna wear this again." So I just threw it away. So to me, it's out.
yeah. It's out. I don't know how it even got a fad or something like that, but it's dead for a reason. So moving along. Look, this is something that you probably have a lot of. I I know it's everywhere, like, in all the stores, no matter where you go, Marshalls, Target, this is big, and it's definitely, like, a older millennial thing.
The wooden blocks, like
The
quote
wooden
blocks?
blocks
Okay.
with all the little like, they'll have sometimes
Oh
they have,
my
like,
god,
motivational speeches
I've
on
got, like,
them.
3 of them in my office and, like, 12 of them in my house. It says, "Never get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life." In the living room, it's like, pedal what does it said? Key something about pedal on, and it was with the bicycle. Like, I do have a lot of them, but I did get rid of a lot of them as well, and there was a Instagram post, and it was a guy, and it's exactly what kinda happened recently with one of my friends. We were in my living room, and I, like, looked over, and it's like, "Be kind, be silly, be honest," and then I was just said it, and then my friend looked over and was like, "Yeah, carry on." It was something, and he was reading all of the we were reading all the quotes, like, that were hanging in my living room, just and there was a guy that did it in a thing with his girlfriend. She was like, he's like, "We really have to talk," and then she's like, "I know, but, la, la," and he goes, life's too short." And it was like he was looking around the room and zooming in, and she was just getting ready in the mirror, and he was just reading all of it, and then finally she caught on that that's what his all of his responses were just reading the quote blocks, and she looked up at him and she stormed out of the room, but it was just funny. So it's
That
true, yes, and I did want to bring that up because Pete, yeah, live, laugh, love, guys. That's exactly that. No, that is it. We're over the live, laugh, love. That will be cringy. But I did want to say, because Pete, I'm glad you put that up there because good, because he somebody with kids. Glad to hear that he did do the downstairs in chalk paint. That's okay, but that his you know the kids never use it. So
there we go.
utility wise, yes,
It was a great
good
thought, but,
thought.
and this was actually Nell, that posted this on our
She's anonymous. She's like,
yes, she's
hiding
anonymous.
her
I
name.
I know, but I called her out. You're not supposed to do that, but she'll be
Live,
fine.
laugh, love. That is a
That is
funny one.
I mean, that's probably where it started, right? With Live, Laugh, Love.
I have
Uh,
quote box. I if I like the quote, I'll get it. But I do have other things in frames, but I do have a lot of them.
yeah, every time I walk through, every time I walk through like any type of store, especially like home goods or something like that, there's like a half a million of those things,
Yeah. And they're
and
good
there's
gifts, to be
yeah.
honest. It's cute.
I really like this trend. I don't know if people are still doing it, but the Edison bulbs I thought were a really
Yeah.
cool idea. Um, so I don't foresee this being cringy, especially if it fits the house or fits the space. Like this looks
Yeah.
cool to me. Like the upside down kind of
Canoe. Yeah.
reminds me more so of a restaurant, but
Yeah. I mean,
but
yeah, I really love the Edison bulbs, and that did come out a few years back, and I do think that it's it's still around with industrial, like you said, the decor that's more of that industrial style, with like metal and but
Nell says
yeah,
I have Edison bulbs
and
everywhere.
everywhere. Yeah, I mean, I think they're cool. I think they're different because it's almost like you don't need the lamp shade when you have them. Like I have one in my living room that does have a glass. It's almost like a vase that comes up, but
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Edison
Yeah.
bulb is inside, so it doesn't have a shade. So that's maybe the other thing is, I mean, really, it's replacing the idea of that old crinkly, or that old lampshade that went to then just a smooth lampshade to then just went naked.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. But there's also another set of lights in there that I really love. It's the smaller ones.
Cafe. Mhm.
Yeah, the ones that you can put outside. Those are amazing. I
Those
think
are those are like more outdoor cafe bowl. I like those too.
yeah, and especially I love an outdoor space, especially this time of year
Yep.
with those lights. It's just a lot of fun.
Cozy.
Um, cozy is a good way to say that.
My pillow says,
Um,
stay cozy.
so this is probably like, we don't have one. I want one so bad in this house. I'm gonna figure out how to do it eventually. We have a one that kind of looks like this, but it's stainless steel. But I'd love a farmhouse sink.
Yeah,
Love it.
I
I think
mean,
it's amazing.
I think it's cool. I mean, In this picture too, like it goes with the style. It's a little bit more of like a modern chic, like farmhouse chic. So I don't know. I've seen them with really modern um style kitchens as well, and they look really good. So it just depends on the decor. But I think utility wise, so much easier having one big sink sometimes when you're trying to do stuff than you know, two
Yeah,
sinks.
and
I
like
have
when
two. Um,
yeah, we have one big sink like that, but like I said, it's more like stainless steel,
right.
and I like this. I love that kitchen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably my type of kitchen. Like if I had to get down to it, like, but what did you call this? Farmhouse chic? Is that
Yeah,
is
like,
it?
I think that's kinda my style is like a modern farmhouse. I have, like, antique, like, an older style, but I have new, so it's like a mix.
Yeah, I think of this. I think that's Megan's style too, because she has this. You probably have one of those ladders that you hang blankets and stuff onto.
I do. I was gonna take a picture because there's 3 gray blankets and 1 white, just different
That's
patterns.
yeah. We have a great couch. So
Yeah,
oh my god, we're so
and the
stereotypical. This is
ladder's gray.
yes. Ours is regular wood color, cast
Yeah,
iron porcelain coated with
with
wings.
okay,
Okay, getting a little bit
that's
more.
Sean is in the know, I am
Yes.
not, but, I
But
do like it.
yeah, I like
I
it. I
mean,
like it.
I think I don't know about the cringe, if we're talking about if it's going to be what we're looking at in 20 years, but
Yeah, I don't think that would be a style that people would consider cringy. Like I mean, it just looks classic. That's what I think of.
mhm,
And how could a classic style be cringy, right?
mhm.
Um, so, but who what do I know, right? Um, Number 19 is anything from the 1990s prominently displayed.
Oh no.
So they have Nintendo. For those that are listening, they have a Nintendo 64, and it looks like a regular Nintendo sitting
Yeah,
there. And God knows what that thing is. Looks like a Game Boy or something like that sitting there.
that might be like an
Um,
Atari. I
yeah,
because I don't know what Atari looks like. Maybe the guys that are watching.
yeah.
Um,
Maybe somebody can pick out that last one.
I mean
Um,
it reminds me of guys that have posters now. I just
Two
sneeze again.
sneezes
2
in
sneezes, guys.
one show.
I must be allergic to excuse me, and
Three sneezes.
I never sneeze more than once, so I must be allergic to something, all these cringy things that we're talking about. Um, unless, like, I haven't worn this sweater in a while because I haven't, and maybe there's, like, cat hair all over it.
Yeah, there you
Wash
go.
your clothes, you filthy animal. I don't know why, but like the posters, like bachelor pads, like how the guys have like posters sometimes of like I don't know, like cars. Like I don't know, I'm not sure. Kind of reminds me of something like where you joke about.
I yeah, I didn't know this was a thing. Um, Apparently it is because it made the top 20 list. But I mean, even if I had this stuff, it's not sitting out
Right.
predominantly displayed
Right.
as like a trophy. It's just it would just be sitting there just because I hadn't put it away, probably. Uh, to be
Oh, is it?
honest,
Sean said it's Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo.
I never had Super Nintendo. I only had regular Nintendo, and then I had Sega Genesis, and
Yeah,
I had a Game Boy.
I had the Nintendo 64. I had the regular Nintendo.
That must
Um,
be
I guess that is Super Nintendo. I don't know.
said
That's good.
NES, SNES, Nintendo 64. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
huh.
So,
Okay.
um,
I'm glad you guys know. I don't.
so the last and final one is, and finally, what we can afford. Millennials are known for buying what's out there and what we can afford. So, that's a good one. I guess it's a good one to end on.
Yes.
Necessarily.
Sean said I'm old, and you're not old. You're only a couple years older than me.
Yeah.
Yes, anything we can afford, true.
Yes, yes. So, anyways, guys, hopefully, he said he's not a millennial, but we've been doctoring you, right?
Yes, and he's a fan of the
Yeah,
millennials.
we've
So
blessed you, right? This is, and just let you know, Sean, this is not a show just for millennials. This is for us to, come together as generations and discuss cringe-worthy types of material. So,
Yes. Which is
so
why
it
I said I didn't think it was just millennial
yes.
thing.
I mean, obviously the title it was, said millennials, but let's
I
be
mean,
honest, a lot of
90
people use a lot of that stuff.
95 95% of them is true about me. So
Yes, I would, and I could say probably about the same for me as well.
funny.
But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed today's show. But before we end today, we do like to. I got to get to it. The brand right here. Bam.
Oh, yeah.
Millennial meme of the week.
Oh, that's great. I'm gonna
So
pull that soundbite for sure. I
yeah,
couldn't pull the we had a little bit of a snafu with the recording last week, which is probably for the best because I went off on some shit. And m-
sometimes
maybe
it's
just leave it
better.
on Facebook so that it's not all over the internet. Um, so I
So it's
yeah.
Mel's turn, right? For
So I got
for the meme.
two just because I thought they were one was great and then I
This is
thought one
very
was better.
classic of Mel to have two, by the way. For
I
those
know,
of this your first
I
time
like
watching
your
or listening,
I
very
like
very classic Mel move here. Go ahead.
all right.
Oh
There's a
my
meme
god.
there's a meme that a lot of people know, and it's like this dog, like, I don't know which dog it is, but he's, like, in a full room of plants surrounding him, and it's like, "This is fine. This is fine. I'm fine. I'm fine." And above it is an apartment, um, with a balcony, and the entire
It
balcony
looks like
is
the
all
Amazon
plants. It
forest.
looks like the Amazon. So it's like, "This is fine. I'm fine." And then this one was great because I just love the idea of the plants, and it's the guy. I mean, I know that he's Darth Vader. I don't know if what is this from a different movie because that's Darth Vader, the guy that plays him. But
Yeah.
in one room, there's one plant in the corner. It's like a palm leaf, and then it's like more, and then there's a whole room of them, and it's you can't see because the like share. If you take that off real quick, it just is him screaming, and he's like more. The next
Yeah.
thing you know, the entire room is full of plants. So
Yeah,
I will
that's
post that. But I thought that all of my pictures with the plants were funny, and since you said you guys have an extreme amount of plants, I thought it would was fitting that we showed too with a ton of
yeah, I will.
plants.
I will definitely take a picture and post it for you guys to see all the plants that we have. But it's a lot. So,
Yes.
anyways, another thing we like to do at the end of the show is before we march into the weekend, and Mel gives us a little bit of advice, a little bit of just wisdom to take us into the weekend, so that we're the best version of ourselves as we possibly can be. So, Mel, it is time for Mel's moment.
That was really good. Mel's moment. That was you're way better than me.
Yeah.
Um, well, looking at the things that we are doing now, and maybe in 20 years they'll be cringy to us and or the younger generation. What I would say is, do what you love to do now, and it's our home is a place that oh, there's a quote, and I'm like gonna mess it up, but it's a place that we need to really feel good about. And if you have things on here that are, whether we thought they were cringy or not, it's your space. And you know what you love and what you want to be around and what you want to see every day. And if it brings you joy, do it because you can always change it. But I do think that it's up to everybody to do what you love and um, make your home a happy place.
Love it. I love it. Yes, you are in control of your own happiness is the best way to describe that. So that was awesome. But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed today's show. If you did, let us know below. We'd love to see what you guys say. And also in the comment section, let us know what you want the next show to be about. Give us some ideas. We want to hear from you. We want to hear what you want to hear, right? We want to provide that content for you guys. So make sure you're doing that. Make sure you go like our pages and stuff like that. But hopefully, you have a great rest of your Friday. And I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. And remember, set your notifications. We're live every Friday, 2 o'clock. Make sure you check us out. So, anyways, guys, have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.